Welcome to Do Nothing Project. Just everyone checking in. What's the date today? February 27th. Almost my sister's birthday. Hello to Julie from Brooklyn, to Jeannie, to Van, to Joan, to Candace, to Lauren. Hey, Lauren and Andrew, thank you for moderating. Everybody hear me okay? The mic was a bit scratchy last time, so I just put in these regular, whatever you call them, Apple headphone things. So I hope it sounds okay. Thanks, Gabrielle. Well, welcome to all the regulars who I get to see every Sunday, get to see the names. Welcome to all the people who check in. Welcome to all the people who just hang out, not so much on the computer typing, which I understand. Welcome to you. Welcome to all people who are just arriving here for the first time. You found yourself in a good little spot. Good community of humans. Basic idea of the Do Nothing Project is, pretty much says it all in the title. Just sit and exist with whatever's happening in the stream of your life. Not trying to avoid it, not trying to grab onto it. Just being present with what's here and doing it in community. And that can feels nice to be connected in that way. And it feels nice to sit in the middle of your life. Sometimes it feels hard. It feels a bit hard for me tonight. I try to just be honest about where I'm at. I've just been really bummed out about the whole situation in the Ukraine and the cost of life there, and just feeling scared and angry and sick to my stomach about it. And like with any, war or conflict, and I just really seeing all those interviews with the civilians who are preparing to take up arms and are scared and never used a gun before, and it just seems insane that this is happening. So anyway, that's what's here with me, so that's what I'm going to be sitting with. Just to that end, I think Andrew might post a couple links to some resources around if you're feeling motivated to support the humanitarian side, getting medical supplies and humanitarian help to the front. We'll put a few links in. And I know that's kind of heavy, but this is what's happening out in the world. This is what's here. And so I'm going to guide a pretty simple practice that's about just sitting and kind of opening to the unfiltered stream of what's here in life. And the thing that's really cool about meditation is, the heart of meditation is really this. It really is pointing you to the radical end of suffering, you could say, in the sense that it's teaching you how to sit and open to exactly what's here, to not fight or struggle against your experience. And one of the things you learn from meditation is that the attempt to avoid what's here is itself what creates so much suffering. And that when we can not do that, we feel things intensely. There's still pain and all the stuff, but the suffering part of it, that's so can be so sort of primary in so many of our lives, is not as dominant a theme. And so that's just sitting and being with what is. But the other thing about meditation is sometimes that's not what you want to do, and that's also fine. Meditation's like, there's so many kinds of meditation, and sometimes what it feels the right move, feels like in a practice, is to sit and actually just to focus on something really simple in your experience, some way to get simple to maybe because you're just feeling like you need a break, you need to kind of take care of yourself. And so you can zoom in on one little part, and that can end up creating a real sense of a home or a refuge or a kind of home base. And that's also a part of practice. So I'll guide a practice that's really about sitting and opening to what's here, but I'm going to offer up the prompt to go to zoom in to something more intimate and smaller scale if you feel like you just want really deeply the rest, which is understandable. And of course, you can find the rest in the other way too. But that's our itinerary for tonight. And I'm really happy to be with everyone. It's just good to sit inside life with your fellow human beings, and grateful. And of course, we'll finish with a loving kindness practice at the end. All right, so we're going to do 25 minutes. It's 8:08 right now. I set my little clock here, 8:09. So we'll finish at 8:34, and I'll ring the bell to start. All right, so as always with the Do Nothing Project, if you have your own meditation, your own go-to practice, you're welcome just to move into that slipstream, just fade me out. Or you can follow along with these really loose prompts. I like starting with a few deliberate breaths. Deliberately noticing the sensation of breathing deliberately, taking a slow inhale, stretching up, kind of finding my poise, and then on the exhale, that's the making that deliberately long, and that sort of can go along with the settling as the diaphragm relaxes and the body settles. And really, as you breathe out here, make contact with whatever's supporting you. So the ground under you, the chair, the cushion. If you're lying down, the feeling of the floor underneath you. Just coming to ground. And then there's this brave thing at the beginning of a practice of setting the intention to really let whatever's here be here. Whatever wants to show up, show up. That means all the sounds around you. It might be quiet where you are, or there might be street sounds or neighbor sounds or who knows what, and that's okay. That's what's showing up right now. So no need to block against that or get in any battles about it. And the same is true internally. And maybe it's quiet inside. You're feeling pretty settled, not much in the way of interactivity. That's great. Or maybe it's busier in there. There's feelings, there's thoughts. That's fine. No inner bracing either, no walling things off. This is sort of the radical practice of opening out, dropping all the boundaries, all the edges, the walls, the partitions, and just being with the unfiltered flow of reality, your inner, outer. And this can be a nice practice right here, just sitting and being with what's here. Feeling the feelings, noticing the thoughts, hearing the sounds. And it can also be nice, like I mentioned off the top, just to get settled using a home base. And that actually can be somewhere we can really end up devoting our attention if we feel like we just want the simplicity of devoting our attention to this one simple thing, the sensation of the breath maybe, or the sense of the whole body sitting, or maybe a sound, or maybe some other body sensation. A home base can help us ground even more, so offer that up and I'll come back in a little bit. Just being with all the sounds and the sensations and feelings. And if you like, there can be this commitment to a home base, to some simple sensation. And there's an intuit quality with that, with getting concentrated on a sensation, like you're kind of sending your attention into it. It's like choosing to appreciate the sensory qualities of it. getting interested in the subtlest, quietest parts, the softest parts. It can be a very regulating thing to do, at least settling. And a lot of this is about patience, not needing it to be different, more interesting, more anything. Being with things as they are. All the sounds and sensations. There's a kind of neutrality in them when you're just being with them, letting the unfiltered stream change, and we stay with it. Have you noticed you're in your thinking? Just kind of notice that and see if you redirect your attention into the now, some body sensation or sound, something happening right here. It's not happening in the present or the future. It's not happening far away. It's happening right here. This moment, this body, these sounds. Reorienting to right here. And then being here. Staying here. Okay, the last few minutes usually finish with some kind of compassion or loving kindness practice. Thinking we do the same thing this evening. It's up to you. You just do a basic compassion practice if you like for whoever you feel like needs it. Someone in your life, someone out in the world, yourself. And I'm also going to offer this, what I'm going to do is something called a Tonglen practice. It's basically a practice of breathing in someone else's discomfort or hurt and breathing, you kind of breathe it in. It's like you're purifying it, like you're an air filter. And then you just breathe out calm, presence, warmth, whatever it is. And for me, I'm just imagining breathing in people's fear from over in the Ukraine and all the things that must be happening, and I'm just going to breathe out calm and presence, just trying to, if I could even offer them settledness, presence, steadiness. So that's an option too if you want to explore it with me. Just breathing in the discomfort, the fear, the sadness, and then it's like it gets filtered inside you, and as you breathe out, you find that steadiness, the settledness, the strength, as if we could offer that back. And the compassion, the care. Whatever you feel like you want to offer, or what feels right for you. And there's also the option of a general compassion practice. Where you just kind of repeat, may you be well, or send some steadying, caring vibes. I'm just wishing people sanity, settledness, clarity, care, support. Wishing everyone steadiness, sanity, care, support, love. Thank you for your practice. Thanks, Lauren. Thanks, Gabrielle. Yeah, if people are curious about that practice at the end, the probably a lot of people have heard about it. Yeah, okay, Andrew just posted it. It's called Tunglen. It's a really powerful practice. It's basically what we just did, where you literally imagine yourself kind of breathing in the discomfort and pain and fear of others, and you just transform it and breathe back that steadiness and support. And it's a wonderful practice to just also to connect to what's really going on with people and to be realistic about that, but also to feel like you're able to offer something. And it's good to do it in a big group like this. Thanks everyone saying all these nice words. Good to meet some new people. Monica liked the idea of being an air filter. Yeah, I like that. Oh yeah, Pema Chodron is a terrific person to look at. She does a lot. She studies in Tibetan tradition. She does a lot of Tonglen. You're welcome, Sonali. Bruce, glad I turned off the news and tuned into this. Yeah, bit of news here too. Good to have you in community, Bruce. Thanks, Andrew, for posting that again. Nice to meet you, Linda. Brooke says, thank you, Jeff. Like this Tonglen practice I'll come back to. Felt myself breathing out, saying, you're not alone. Allowing myself to feel the emotions that came up. Wetness in the eyes. Yeah. Emily, do you have any suggestions for material to become more fluent in different types of meditation practices? I mean, there's so much. I'm trying not to think of things that I've done about that because there's lots of. I have a course that's about a few different kinds on my website, and the calm stuff is always showing different ones. Any good introduction to meditation book will have a series of different practices. They'll almost always have an introduction to mindfulness, have like a basic mindfulness type practice, basic concentration type practice, loving kindness practices. Those are sort of three buckets. And you can sort of look according to that online, have a search for those different kinds. We do a podcast, a free podcast, the Consciousness Explorers podcast that has everyone's a different practice, different guided by someone different, but it's much wider than just meditation. It's kind of all kinds of practices. So that's another place to look. It's a wonderful adventure you're starting on, getting interested in that. There's a lot. Yeah. And people can put in anything they like. Whoops, there are two suggestions. People often put lots of suggestions in here. Yeah, the How to Meditate course on Calm has some good stuff on that. All right, friends. Well, I am going to get going. I can hear my little guy still up. And I'm going to just go and do some dad duty. So, much love to everyone. There's CEC happening tomorrow night. If you don't know the Consciousness Explorers Club, we got our Monday night sits. And that's also a resource for other meditations. There's tons on the CEC website, free meditations of all different kinds. Really, yeah, it's kind of just about finding one you like and experimenting. Thanks, friends. Let's hope that this week goes as well as it can. Hope there are peace talks in the immediate future. And I'll see you next week. Thanks, Andrew. Thanks again for posting a lot.